Just sign right there. Are you refusing to talk to us? We're here investigating the murder of your wife.
So now we just found out that my wife is dead.
Shot her in the head.
This is Tom Fleming, a retired police captain with a prestigious 20-year career in law enforcement. But in 2012, a shocking crime would flip the tables, turning the former officer into the prime suspect in a shocking homicide. The case begins when police are called to Tom's Florida home. There, officers find his wife of 45 years, Claire, lying dead on the bedroom floor, a single gunshot wound to her head. Outside the home, Fleming insists the shooting wasn't intentional. He claims he was in an emotional state and was contemplating hurting himself. He claims when he shared those feelings with Claire, she mocked him and dared him to go ahead. Fleming tells detectives he snapped and turned the gun on her instead. An agitated and combative Tom is brought to the station in handcuffs. Detectives know this is not going to be a normal interrogation.
My leg?
You want to put him on the chair instead of on the desk?
Let me try this for a minute.
Put him on there.
Nah.
No?
I can get it, yeah. Good.
You okay?
No, I'm not okay.
Well, I mean your leg.
Yeah, my leg. 12 years. What are you caring about? Oh, I thought it's a flashlight, a kill light?
Yeah.
When I was working, we only had wheel guns. Those automatics confused me.
That's what I started with.
I got a gun from an old military man he gave me. It was a .30 caliber Black Hawk with a 5-inch barrel. It is an absolutely gorgeous piece of machinery. But it's not nothing you want to be in combat with. Are you listening to me? Are you going? Of course, you're out there. I ain't going to talk with you out there. Is my wife dead?
I have no idea.
Sure you do. Sure you do. There's absolutely no doubt in my mind. Oh my God, what did I do? There should be an executioner, right? As soon as you walk in, like the old guillotine, something like that. What? Just look at my face when I'm talking to you, please, Rich.
Yeah, I'm here.
What? I got insulted when you had to put your gloves on. Because I'm a very clean person. You know what I mean? You can see my house.
I just use it for any tactical situation we have.
I
just put
understand,
'em on.
but I'm impeccable. Both my homes are just, you can eat off the floor.
Okay. Don't take offense to it. I apologize.
Now, I wanted to tell you something that I can't remember. If I could just get it back to me. If I could just zero in on my mind again. I know it's there. It's right there. Oh. Yeah. Hey there. I forgot your name.
It's Detective Westworld.
Could you give me your first name?
No, I didn't, sir. It's Mike.
Mike.
Yes.
I know you're looking for evidence. I understand. And here's some evidence. I'm so sorry. I don't know why. What happened? I mean, I'm sitting on my truck. I think I was sitting on my truck. God. If you would have heard, I felt so useless. I felt so useless. Go away. Leave me alone. You know, I've got a life and you're not part of it anymore. Why can't you go? Why do you stay here? Go to your other house and go away. You know. That's all she kept saying. she kept saying that. And she would laugh at me. No.
311, 321.
I have been on a high, what's the opposite of depression?
I can't think of it right now.
Oh, that's what I am. When I get all messed up, I'm in an adrenaline high. I don't know what it's called. It's the opposite of depression. I'm up there and I want to go down. And my wife used to say, well, why don't you take a breather? And that would lower me a little bit. You know, I've been in problems most of my life. I got 2 walkers, of course, you know. And finally, in the last year, I couldn't walk on this hip anymore. Pain. So finally, I didn't care. I went to the doctor and he says, "You need a hip." I did everything I was supposed to, and I had this hip, you know, totally from the drugs and all that stuff. Got me home in 3 days because my wife was going to take care of me 24 hours a day. She did take care of me 24 hours a day. It was 4 o'clock in the morning and I needed to move my leg. She was there. But then when it was all over, she kept, when I got better a little bit, you know, then she just kept making fun of me. You know, why? Why did she do that? Why did she do that? Yeah, I'm a half a buck short, so what's the big deal about it? You know? And then other times, she liked me very much. You know? I remember one time that I was working on the police department, I think it was, and I didn't know I had any problems. And she says, "I don't like my marriage anymore." I said, "Oh, maybe you should go on vacation with our daughter and your sister. Our marriage is more important." And she says, "Well, you've got a hip problem. Well, sit down, son. Take it. That's a shame. You playing softball and screwed up." That's what they did with me. I screwed up my knees playing softball. And the major called me in one day and he said, "What would you like to do? Be a policeman or play softball?" And so that was the end of my career. Now I was on something and I lost it. You weren't listening, so you can't remember. Because you can't remember what you weren't really listening to anyway, I guess. I can't remember what yet. She, even times when I go to the lake, and I think, oh, well, this is nice, we can go maybe boating or kayaking or whatever. You know, maybe listen to some nice music and make love. And the next thing I know, she's saying, "I'm going with the neighbor, the guy across the street." No hanky panky. She says, "I'm going to Bingo." And another time, I had these damn people over the house, they were annoying me. Couldn't wait till they left. You're a bunch of takers, you know. What have I got? You know, I got money, so here, take. And they come with this bread and stuff that was all from St. Joseph's Church, even though they gamble and have a brand new car. Puked to me. The guy was a freaking liberal from the wake-go. I couldn't wait till they left, and I thought they were going. I couldn't wait to ask my wife to go out on the boat. We were going to go on the canal, fish, all those things that come with it. You know, you go on a canal, and you might be a day before somebody passes by. And my wife looked at me and she says, "I'm going right? And I went, what? And I wanted to say, like, I really want you to be with me. But I couldn't because they were right there. So she left. It takes an hour to go down there, an hour or two again, and an hour to get back. So I just started working on my irrigation system. I mean, Rich, I just kept getting rejected and rejected and rejected. It's all, you know. I just kept getting it. I couldn't take it anymore, you know. And I'm not using that as an excuse, okay? I mean, I prayed, this is what's sad about it. I prayed for probably 30 days, 3 rosaries a day. I read John, the Bible according to John. I read these missalettes. I tried to rationalize. Jesus, please help me. I really tried, you know. When I was over at the lake house for 3 weeks, I was lonely. There's nobody living in my door. When the nighttime comes, it's nothing. You want to go outside and get bit by mosquitoes? You want to go outside, you better have a flashlight, you know. If you want to go down the dock, you better be able to tackle a gator, you know. And you couldn't even wander down the dock unless you were serious, especially if you had a couple of beers, you know. You got to take the line and you got to make sure the dog's in. I had to tie the dog to the... Here's my dock. Put a chair in the middle and tie my little dog because he's smelling over that way. The water's real high after the rain. And my dog is a goner. He's a heart condition and everything. I guess it doesn't make any difference in my life. You know, I'm so sorry what happened. I just couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. I said, what? You know? And you know, I used to call my brother. And I was saying to him, anxiety. I call my brother. My one brother was dead. He was a cop in upstate New York. And I call my other brother, teacher. He said, Tom, you have some problems. But your wife is really making it worse. You gotta pray and keep it cool. And I pray. I get up 4 o'clock in the morning and pray because I know I don't sleep anymore. I just kept doing and doing. You know? And do you know, my wife one day came to me. I have 3 grandchildren. My wife one day came to me and said, you hate your oldest grandchild. It was devastating to me. She was about 4 years before the first. Why would you say that? She said, say what? I said, you just said, I hate my grandchild. I never said that. It's your imagination. I never said that. I say, Claire, she'd say to me, I never asked for a divorce. I just want you to get out of here. I said, Claire, you said you wanted a divorce 3 times to me. I never did. There's something wrong with you. There's something wrong with you. You know? And he kept doing this over and over again. You know, she didn't just say, hey, I don't love you anymore. She broke my balls on it. You know what I mean? For months. Because at one time she loved me very much. And I treated her well. I mean, it's not like I was stupid. It's not like, I have 2 houses paid for. It's not like I was not fluffing off or what have you. I mean, I busted my ass and I saved and I invested in property. You know, real estate's so I didn't shine out to it. But one time, that house over there was worth $500,000 and the thing shit it down. You know, my house I could have let you pour out of. In the good times I could have sold it for $400,000 on a weekend. Now I don't know what it's worth, $200, you know, whatever. But anyway, I'm trying to deal with it. I was trying to deal with it. I was trying to be nice. Whatever it is that I have to do. Like one time we were at the lake And we go to Lake Placid, and we go to I can't think of the furniture store, Badcock's. Go there. This is for me because I sleep in a chair a lot, a recliner. And she says, "You like this?" I says, "Yeah, I like it." And the lady comes up and says, "If you go to Avon Park, you get it for $75 cheaper, the same thing." She tells me this. So the next day, before we're coming home to Braden, we come back on State Road 66. So we get up there, and this is what my wife does to me all the time because she controls everything. And I said, "Well, here's the chair, Claire. It's $50, $75, whatever it was." I said, "We'll go buy it, and the next time I come to town, I'll pick it up, I'll put it in the truck." We got it, it's for me. She says, "I don't know." She says, "I want this one over here." I said, "Well, I kind of like this one." That one was $150 more. And like I usually do, I say, "Okay." Now, granted, she's never going to be in that chair. Never, that was my chair. But she controlled that. So rather than start an argument, rather than have her start at me, a week later, she says, "Okay, we'll get that chair." So we got the chair. And when I picked it up, I picked up that chair. She never come to the lake again. She knew she wasn't coming to the lake anyway, but she wanted that chair. You see what I mean? And that's what she used to do to me. She did that. And if I called, she wouldn't answer.
I'm sorry, 1 second, sir. Hello?
It's okay.
I'm in there.
Let me tell you something.
Yes, sir.
If I could just get recomposed, it's better than I shoot myself if I'm gonna go fucking do something, you know what I mean? I've always thought if you're gonna get down, I used to never be. Stick the gun in your fucking mouth. I've had policemen kill him. I had one Braden policeman, he's Puerto Rican, I hired him. He got in trouble with his wife, whatever. I helped him move in my truck. I didn't really wanted to buy him. I felt so bad because he's not a whore. You know what I mean? I get so tired of that smell of scotch. Even when he's on 3 to 11 shift, I'd come greet him. I could smell the scotch from the night before. It was so heavy. So, yeah, he called me and I take the bed and everything. He leaves his wife and all that. He acted so happy. The next thing I know, on low key, Tolly calls me up. He says, "I just got word that Jerry Bogues was 1994. He stuck the 357 right here." I said, "Jerry can't do that. It's impossible." So I went down to the crime scene. And of course, the Braden police was looking at it. But I had to look because I didn't think. And then it settled in. Yeah, he probably did. It looked bad. And I saw someone.
Hey, how you doing?
Well, I'm not doing good. I'm so embarrassed.
I don't know whether you remember me or not. John Kenny, you almost hired me back in 1985.
I don't remember you, but
I remember you because
sure.
I had a choice between coming here or BPD, and
I went
obviously,
pretty sharp. I tell you.
you are. So was I. It's Tom, right? Do you mind if we call you Tom?
Sure.
Hi, Tom. I'm Pete Ramponi.
You're a detective.
Yeah, I'm Sergeant of the Detectives.
What is your name again? It struck me as I just want to
John. John Kenny. I was a deputy in Sarasota. You used to do the hiring, right? At BPD. And I was a detective in Sarasota Sheriff's Office. And I decided to come up to Manatee. And I wound up, I met you, and you gave me yeah. I mean, I remember.
I saw hundreds and hundreds of people running around too. It's so hard to remember. Did I tell you my last day at work? Do you want to hear it?
Sure.
I finally,
How long you been retired?
many years. I'm going to tell you what my last day at work was. I retired. My career went down a tube when it was a grievance hearing. I didn't have anything to do with the patrol. I was in administration. Next thing I know is they got a subpoena for his chicken grievance hearing. So they wanted to construct a fire on policeman, and they said they didn't do the evidence right. It was Judge Logan, who was just a judge at the time representing the city. So here come, I don't know nothing about the case. They asked me to come in and sit down. Captain, I want to talk to you about evidence. What's the procedure on evidence? Is this the normal amount of evidence? Well, we had a terrible record of evidence. Brayton PD was.
What year was that?
1982. Okay, maybe 81. And I said, well, the pattern of practice since I've been on is exactly what the police officer did. Well, the case is dismissed, right? And of course they come to me and they say, you got a problem, son, for retaliation. So what kind of blew my mind is I come into my office, Captain, the guy sitting in my office just like you, and I walked in, he had the key on. He says, you're going to be the police chief, and I love you like a brother. But if you don't do what I tell you to do and what we tell you to do, you're going to be in a heap of trouble. I'm going to tell you right now. Do you understand me? I stood there and I didn't say yeah. I didn't say yeah. I said no. He said these are facts. And you're finding a fact. And I was nervous about it, but I never did what I wanted me to do. The litigation, come back.
Who was that told you this?
Well, he's dead now, so I'll tell you. You really don't need to know. So
Well, you don't have to tell me.
Well, could you keep it within your own hand?
Sure.
Because he's dead. So
Yeah.
leave it alone.
Yeah.
Almost. Yeah.
Really?
Yes. And he also let me know. I used to work midnights. He used to hang out. This is back in the 70s. I was on a special investigation. I didn't even report to my lieutenant anymore. I was a detective. John Blair was a state attorney. I kept going higher and higher on corruption. And man, everybody was for it. The few people that knew, I didn't even turn nothing went into records. It was at the police chief's office where he kept his records. And then I called John Blair once a week. I don't even know what the guy looked like, okay? But I called him up. And all of a sudden, I'm called in by the police chief. He sits me down with a couple of other guys and he says, you're off this case. If you say one goddamn thing about it, I'm going to fire you. Go to C Squad, you're a sergeant. I never said anything else. So I went, and I'm out walking one day up the block on 35th Avenue. And this woman in the block comes up to me. And she says, what's the matter with you? I said, what are you talking about? She says, we wanted to do indictments, but you didn't finish the case. Why didn't you finish it? I couldn't tell her that the powers to be said, screw on, I mean, it really did. I had this problem in the 80s, sir, when they fired me for a year and a half. I got back pay, 12% interest, every goddamn thing you can think about. And what happened, when I was driving a bus to St. Joseph's, I made up my mind then, I didn't tell my wife this, because there was a word that they were going to maybe give my kids a problem, And I made up my mind I wasn't a policeman. I didn't carry a gun, but I knew where one was. And if any one of my kids, my daughter just disappeared for a fraction of an instant. I put her on a bus with me, even though she didn't need a ride home. We lived 2 blocks away. And I made up my mind where I was going to go. I wasn't going to call you guys or anybody else. I was going to go to the house where I knew where I was going to get says, I ain't gonna tell you where it is, okay? We can't get that bad. But I was gonna take care of justice right then and there because it saved my kids. Okay? That was an if. Well, anyway, all this bullshit comes down. I had my lines tapped. I put a thing on it. It shows it's tapped. I had no privacy whatsoever. Finally, I'm back to work. And I snapped after all. I just friggin' snapped. You know, it went on for 4 years, this litigation and everything. It just snapped. I don't know what happened. I was cool. Everybody gave me this harassment like they go on and say, go out to the fire station on East Brighton, you gotta get a talk out there. And then I go out there, no patrol car, nothing. Then they say you're on call for the weekend. So man, I wouldn't touch a drink or anything. I just made sure I was by the phone. And I go to work on Monday, and one sergeant told me we were instructed never ever to call you. That was just a joke. It was tough for me, but I got by with it. One day, I don't know if I told you this, Greg, but I'm going to tell you again because it bothers me. Now, you went to USF. I wanted to graduate again. And I struck an A in the course. Like most of the courses, I got an A, I knew I had a problem as a policeman. I knew that me carrying a gun wasn't right because I couldn't make decisions anymore. I had trouble talking. I had trouble walking and talking. So I did the smart thing. I had a very nice office. They put me outside. We used to jail used to be a municipal jail. And I took my weapon out, unloaded it, and I put the 38s here. That was the lock. And I put the 357 2-inch in here. Because I didn't trust myself. All I wanted to do was make money for my family. And I was already ahead of the game by thousands of dollars, which they eventually paid me, And I says, well, maybe I could just hang on to retirement, but it wasn't easy. One day, I'm sitting in my office just like this, and I used to try to read or do anything, and I would even go down and check for bugs to see if my line was down. All of a sudden, I took that, and I took this, and I loaded it up, put it in my holster. I would never put a police uniform on, because when I went out sometimes, I was too known. If I was in civilian clothes, nobody would know who I was. But if you see me in a captain's bars, you look and you find that I'm screwed up. Oh, what the hell is that, So I stood up with the gun in the holster. It was the last thing I remember. I went down. I don't remember anything except all of a sudden I looked out. This is an 85, 86, I'm not sure. And I looked out my window and I saw my 1977 Mercury. And I said, how did I get home? I don't remember getting in a car. I don't remember exiting it. Did I drive 100 miles an hour? Did I drive 20 miles? It was a big engine. And I ended up, I remember, in a fetal position. I got in the corner and I covered like that. And you tired of hearing this?
No.
And then some more stuff started with the legal ramifications. The city had me go to a psychiatrist. The psychiatrist says, the city ruins you, man. You can't be a policeman anymore. So they wouldn't even subpoena if I had a subpoena. I went up to town. We had a lawsuit, which I won. I won every case, whether it was Tallahassee grievance hearing, the highest court they have, I forget what it's called. I testified for 6 hours. People will, eventually I went through circuit court. I can't think of the judge. They realized that the city's fucking would get into them. He says, let me do a finding of fact for you. He says, not now, it's political. And the city gave me a disability pension, but that it was my fault. But all the competent evidence shows there was no competent evidence to show that it wasn't the city's fault. So I won this hands down, but they wanted to, because of the powers that be, they waited. Then they screwed me out of a couple $1,000 or whatever, because that's the way the city was vicious. Evans and the city were vicious.
So that was the last day you were on the job, huh?
That's the last day I was on a job, and then I worked, I was in a basket case in the Knights of Columbus. They took me in. First I worked for $3 an hour. And I got a little bit better, and then before you know it, I was a subcontractor. You know, like expand out. I was doing floors. And I remember some guy coming to me. Again, he's dead today, Peter Stockton. He says, I want you to do my floors. I really don't want to. I play golf. He was getting back to me. I was making enough money in my pension. My wife was. And he says, I gotta have you do it. He says, you have nice floors. So I was going to buy the borrow the equipment. He comes to me and he says, I don't have a budget for you anymore, Tom. I'm sorry. When he got off that job, you know what he told me? The city of Raymond, power, stopped that job. And every time I was about to get something, voila, that was blocked. That was a perfect case. Rustani went and admitted it to me, and then of course he dies. I don't know what the hell he had. You know, all these people were and it was just like all the time I had to protect my family. You understand? I mean, they were after me all the time. And I tried to be strong. I was a good cop. I didn't beat anybody. I mean, I did not beat anybody. I came close a couple of times. I came close to shooting a couple of people, which I think one of them would have been bad, you know. But I had another one where the guy put the 22 RG-10 right at my head. I was not on the camera. And I tried to hit the bike. It's about 4 o'clock in the morning. Don't you do that. You know, he got me out of the car and I had my hands up. He says, you don't believe this gun's loaded, do you? He went to the front of the patrol car and he opened up the open. Here I am, got the gun right here. I still got my gun. And I froze. I said, son of a bitch, if I draw and shoot him with a 38, I will go right through him. He's going to hit me with a 22 and I'm going to die, but it's going to hit every one of my bones, you know. And I felt like I was going to lose. You know, it's all, you run a thing where you know you're going to lose, and so I hold back. And the guy come back up again, and he said he was off single action. He had the gun in front of me. I had my hands up again. And I put my right on the cylinder, went up like that, and got the gun. Like they told about. I got it. And the guy ran 10 feet, put his hands up. I was confused. I hit his RG-10, a very unfamiliar weapon to me. So all I know is what I had here. It's the only thing I could react to. But this was in my hand, so I couldn't do it. He put the hands up and went left. Of course, we never found him because his house was right there and he eventually died in the fire 5 years later. I see him in jail one time, and all of a sudden it dawns on me. I think I know who that is. He's getting out, he's got this picture of a white girl, and he's a black guy. Let me ask you a question. He said, 5 years ago, the statute of limitations is gone, baby. Let me ask you, was it you who held that RG-10 to me, that 22 to me? And he looked at me and he says, let me tell you, if I would have done that, if that was me, I would have killed you. You know, make no mistake about it. And I knew it was him. And then he died right after that. It was like justice served, you know, camp, you know. And I've had situations, guys, I'm not trying to say I was a hero, but in my day, man, we'd have a Mexican standoff, you know. I finally find a guy. Here he is up there in the loft. And he's got a gun. I said, I see shoes, you know, all that stuff. And we do this. You know, who's gonna shoot who? And he surrenders. So this is cool. I like that. I love the adrenaline flow. And I take him down. And I sit him where you are and I'm booking him. And he says, you know, you're very lucky. If it wasn't for those two other cops that were coming, you were wasted, baby, because we were going to go back to Tampa. You were gone, you know. I went and told the guys, like, you know, it was a good adrenaline flow, you know what I mean? I liked it. But then I regurgitated years later. And I live with it all the time.
Tom,
I guess because I'm a coward.
we've been talking for a while.
Fine.
I got to read you your rights. All right, you know what your rights are. All right, we're
You're
here.
right to remain silent. If you say can we against the law, the attorney won't be appointed to represent.
Exactly. We gotta get through this, okay? So we can talk. All right?
Can I pee first? I'm sorry, I gotta pee.
I thought you already peed, man.
I did twice. I can't help it.
Come pee first. Let's go pee.
Pain in the ass, all right?
Oh, sir. Oh. Are you from New York? Are you from New York?
I moved down here in 1960, went to Sarasota High School.
Sarasota?
I went to Manatee Community, then I went to USF. And I
Well, where'd you move from?
3 miles outside New York City.
New Jersey, Westchester, or Nassau?
3 miles from New York City. I was on Long Island. 3 miles.
Levittown. Hicksville?
Valley Stream. 3 miles.
Hicksville.
Out too far.
No, not that far. I was born in Long Island.
Me too. I was born in the poor section of town.
What?
Amityville?
All right?
Yeah, I'm gonna make it. As soon as I get going.
There you go.
Nope. Just let me get. Okay.
After a brief break, detectives return and read Tommy's Miranda rights.
You understand each of the rights I've explained to you.
Yes, I do.
Having these rights in mind, do you wish to talk to us?
No.
Just sign right there that you're refusing to talk to us. We're here investigating the murder of your wife.
So now we just found out that my wife is dead.
Shot her in the hand. Sign there, sir.
In all due respects, I don't have to sign it.
That's fine.
You know what I mean?
That's fine. Who should we call? Jenny? Or Sean? Who should we call first? Huh?
They don't know about my wife.
Not yet.
No, not yet.
You need to call both of them. And you need to call Jenny first because she's local.
Take her number.
Then I can't remember.
Do you have an address?
She lives up. Palmer.
No matter what parish.
Close to the parish, but it's a Palmer post office.
And what, your son lives in New York City?
Yes. How do you know that?
Because I'm a detective.
How do you know? I want to know how you defected that.
Defected that. Remember when you used to be on top of your game? I'm on top of my game. Alright. Gotta do the paperwork. I'll get you up to the port. If you change your mind and want to talk to us, please indicate to the deputy outside.
Now, just tell me what's going to happen now if you don't mind.
I'm gonna be charged with murder.
Is that okay?
Right now, we're in the process of getting a search warrant. I'm gonna seize your clothing. I believe that your wife's blood is on your t-shirt there.
Right.
I'm gonna do a GSR in your hands. That's why we wouldn't let you wash them. You know what a GSR is?
No.
Just powder, just gunpowder, because you used a revolver.
All right. I don't know my daughter's address. I don't know. I don't know my.
What would you like me to tell her? How do I tell her that her mother's dead? How do I do that? How do I tell her how she died? Well, you can't answer that because I'm not allowed to ask any questions. So you know that too, because you've been a cop for 30 years.
Oh my God. I go up to the port. I don't care about my life anymore. Let me make that very clear, okay? Let me make that very clear.
Oh.
And I'm not sure that.
I don't believe you. I think you're sitting here playing like something's wrong with you.
Oh
That's
yeah.
what I believe.
So there's nothing wrong with me.
I don't know. But this is the procedure, okay? Right now, we're in the process of writing a search warrant for your residence, okay? Your wife is still laying right where you shot her. The gun's still laying right there because we can't do anything until we get a search warrant. All right, we're here trying to talk to you, find out what happened. Only you and God know now what happened in that room.
Do I get to talk to an attorney for a public defender or something?
I don't know what your finances are, Mr. Floyd.
Okay. Well,
All right. I would assume with your pension that you would probably be able to afford an attorney.
really,
I assume, but I don't know what.
I probably don't even want an attorney. You know, I don't give a- When do I go before the judge?
We're going to be before the judge at 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon.
Okay. You trying to go for murder one?
No.
Murder two? Okay.
That's what we're going to charge you with tonight is murder 2.
So, when I go to the port, do I get these cuffs off me?
Yeah. And you want any type of protective custody because of your profession?
Might not be a bad idea.
For your safety, it might not be.
If somebody finds out in the paper,
It's going to be in the paper, sir.
I know. If there's anybody still around, I'm on the enemy list, I'm in trouble.
I'll arrange to have you put in protective custody.
When do I get to, who determines if I have enough money for an attorney?
Judge.
So I go 1 o'clock tomorrow?
I'm going to complete my paperwork. I'm going to have you transported up to Port Manatee. You'll sit there all night and go before the judge, see if they're going to issue
Am I
a
going to be
bond.
in the same clothes? Am I going to
No,
be just
no.
sloppy?
No, we're taking those clothes before you leave. I'm taking that shirt with your wife's blood on it. Taking your shorts. And we're going to do, like I said, a GSR. I'm going to photograph you.
When?
Make sure there's no defensive wounds on you. And then the transport van will take you up to Port Manatee, and you'll be booked, and you go before a judge at first appearance.
Where do you go back to? Bradenton or Vigo?
No, so you got Port Manatee.
So I come in there and then I have leg irons and all this bullshit.
No, sir.
No.
Just had a
And the
handcuffs.
judge, what does the judge ask me? I can't remember. And I was going to say, what is he going to say?
He's going to ask you if you can afford an attorney, and you're going to tell him yes or no. And just set a bond.
I'm just going to tell him I don't want an attorney.
It's up to you, sir.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Because wife spent a lot. Let my kids have it. Let my kids have it. There is the, well, let's be honest, you guys, because I don't even know about, well, that's it. Cortisone, for instance.
Do you have any other questions?
Does he set bond? I would never get out anyway. I don't want to get out.
I doubt if they're going to set a bond in this case. No.
But you're going for murder two. You're not going, it's not going to be murder one right now.
No, sir.
It's like if you're gonna have to call my daughter. My son-in-law is an attorney. He's a real estate attorney. He's got his own business. Paul.
What's his name?
Lauren Paul. Paul. That's my Jenny Paul is my wife's name. He's an attorney. He used to work with state attorneys. Now he's working his own business. I don't have my phone. Otherwise I would have numbers for you. I don't know what I did with my phone.
Well, if I got this guy, would you want to give us a statement?
What guy?
Your son-in-law, the attorney.
No. I'm gonna give a statement. Why would I give a statement? Because once you give a statement, you can't retract it, you know. And I don't know, like I say, I don't really care if you put me on murder one, even though you don't have a case for it, and you give me whatever. I don't care. I don't care about my life anymore. I wish I was, you know. I wish I would. I almost did it. When the cops would come and put your hands up, you know the old story. Put your hands up. Let me see your hands. And all I had to do was go like this. I don't have any guns. I left. I don't have any guns, so I figured they'd shoot. I wasn't sure of that either. I just couldn't make my mind up. You know, I'm gonna run. You know, and that's too bad. But you people don't know anything about torture. You don't know anything about it. You only begun.
I know you're a long time dead, and I don't want to go to hell.
You're a long time what?
Dead.
A long time dead.
I said, you're a long time dead.
When you die,
Just saying, it's a long time you're dead.
So what is that? I don't understand what that means.
I don't want to go to hell. You just said you're going to hell.
I'm going out.
Said that you're a long time dead. It's a saying.
yeah, it means like eternity.
What about medicine? And I don't care about medicine. I really don't care. I'm diabetic.
They got nurses up there that'll address your needs.
How long will it take to go to the next bathroom?
Just say when and we'll take you.
I mean, you're getting ready to go. If I'm going on a trip, I want to go in there and just pee out everything I can again. You know, if that's
Right.
possible.
Yeah.
And then it gives me a chance. It gives me another 45 minutes. I don't even know if I for sure if I have to go, but it would be better than.
Find it out along the way.
Well, I want to thank you, gentlemen. I know you're trying to do your job.
Because
And,
we do need to get some pedigree for
Get some clothes and make a couple phone calls.
Dad, if you have to use the restroom, just get with this officer here, okay?
I'm going to go again there, fella.
Sorry, sir.
I'm going to go to the bathroom again.
Do you need to go again? Right now? If you gotta go, you gotta go.
No, I don't make the rules about my urinary tract. You know what I mean?
Mr. Fleming, I said if you have to go, you can go.
Well, I thought you just asked me before. Now, am I going to be staying here a while?
I gotta do paperwork, yeah. But if you have to use the restroom, let's go. I don't want you to pee on yourself.
Investigators collect Tom's clothing and photograph his body to document any injuries. When asked to provide a DNA sample, he refuses. Thomas Fleming is arrested and charged with his wife's murder before being transported to jail.
What kind of a seating arrangement do you have in this transfer?
There's no bond on either charge.
Oh, don't be a smart mouth. I'm asking you a question. I don't get around good on things. It's hard to even get
And
in.
you're gonna have a
They're
hard time
metal,
with
metal
this.
benches.
And you're not gonna like this.
Hey, look.
Hey, no, you look.
No,
I'm
you
answering.
look. I'm not talking to you.
Okay. Well, you will talk to me because I'm the one you're going with. I'm going nowhere. Don't back up on me.
Does he know I have a little hip problem in that?
I know you will.
Does he have any idea?
Put your foot
We'll
in
take
there.
it easy down there.
Huh?
We'll take it easy down there.
Put your foot in there.
You get you back on.
That's good.
Worry, I'll warm up once you get to know me.
I'm
He does.
sure you will. Don't aggravate me.
Oh, okay. You willing to fish out? Come on, let's go. You can walk it off.
Investigators piece together what they believe happened the day of the murder. According to them, Claire had been pushing Tom for a divorce. His jealousy, anger, and desperate need for control led him to plan Claire's murder, then coldly carry it out. He tried to manipulate police with a story about the shooting being the result of a sudden outburst. A jury convicts Tom of second-degree murder. He is sentenced to life in prison with a mandatory minimum of 25 years.